Hello everyone, let's find the derivative of this rational function. Since this is a rational function, we have a quotient, which is 2x plus 1, the quantity divided by the quantity of x squared minus 4x plus 5. And because that's a quotient, when we differentiate this function, we are going to use the quotient rule. Okay, so before we get started, we are going to review the quotient rule. So what do we get here? We are going to just call the numerator the high function and then the denominator the low function. And then we are trying to take the derivative of this function. And so now what do we do here? So we are going to have a fraction here when we take the derivative, which is that we want to take the derivative of the numerator and then we multiply by the denominator. So, and there is one way that will help us easier to remember, which is called the low, and then d high, and then minus high, and then d low, and then over low, which is the denominator square. Okay, so now following that, then we can actually find a derivative of this function really easily. So let's get started. So we are going to write down f prime of x. And then we are going to be getting what? Let's start doing the numerator. So low means that you just copy the bottom function, right? So we have x squared minus 4x and then plus 5. And then d high means what? The derivative of the top function. So we are going to take the derivative of the top function here, which would give us, what is that? That's going to be 2. As you can see here, the derivative of the 2x plus 1 is just 2. And then minus, so you put the minus right here. And then high means what? It's just copying the top function. So we get 2x plus 1. And then d low means we take the derivative of the bottom function. So what is the derivative of the bottom function? We are going to be getting 2x, right? 2x. And then the derivative of negative 4x is negative 4. And then we don't need to worry about the 5 anymore because when we take the derivative, it will become 0 because it's a constant. Okay, so let's put a fraction line. And then in the denominator, we are just going to put, well, that's low, right? So we're going to square the denominator, which is squaring the x squared minus 4x plus 5. And then you square that. Okay, so that's basically the derivative. We can actually do a little bit of more work to simplify this, but it's really just algebra work. So right now, let's try that. We are going to distribute the 2. So we are going to be getting 2x squared minus ax plus 10. And then now minus. Now this one right here, we actually need to FOIL that first, and then we are going to have a minus sign in front of that. So we need to distribute this negative 1 into all the terms after we do the foiling. Okay, so let's FOIL that first. When we FOIL that, we make sure that you put parentheses right here. So 2x times 2x, we get 4x squared. And then 2x times negative 4 is negative 8x. And then 1 times 2x, we get positive 2x. And then 1 times negative 4, we get negative 4. And so you may say, what about the denominator? We are just going to leave it in that form. So it's unnecessary to expand that square. So we'll just leave it. And now we can start distributing the minus sign. So we are going to be getting 2x squared minus ax plus 10. And then now we got to distribute and then change the signs. But then there is one thing that I want to point out here is that there are like terms that we can combine. So if you combine that, then we are going to be getting negative 6x right here. Okay, so what do we get here? We are going to be getting minus 4x squared. And then now I don't need to worry about those terms anymore because I combined them into negative 6x. So when I distribute this negative 1 to the negative 6x, we are going to be getting positive 6x, adding 6x. And then lastly, we are going to multiply this negative 1 with the negative 4. So we are going to be getting positive 4. So now we still have the denominator that we didn't do anything to. So just copy. And then the next step is to do what? We are going to combine like terms right here, which will give us, what is that? That's negative 2x squared and then minus 2x, right? As you can see here, 2x squared minus 4x squared, negative 2x squared. Negative 8x plus 6x, negative 2x. And then 10 plus the 4, okay, plus 14. And then that would be our x squared minus 4x plus 5 squared. And so what we can do is to factor out a negative 2 from the numerator. And if we do that, then we can have everything in the factor form. Then it would be x squared and then plus x, right? And then minus 7. Make sure that you change all the signs. This is negative now. Negative, the negative 2 is factorial, so we're going to be getting just positive 1x squared. And then the negative 2 is factorial, so we get positive x. And then the negative 2 is factorial from the positive 14, so we get negative 7. And then the denominator, as usual, we are going to just leave it in that form, right? So just copy. And then we're finished. Okay, so see that the first step is really just the calculus step of using the quotient rule, taking the derivative. But sometimes you also need to know how to simplify it because we may want to find critical numbers for the function. So that's when you need to simplify. But if you're just taking the derivative, this would be the derivative already. The other is just algebra work. Okay, so that's it for this problem. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel, give me a comment, give me a like, and then also check out my other videos. Thank you for watching.